Yeah, I'm 84.
Oh, you're 84? Oh God. Okay. So you'll be
Next month.
okay. Okay. Um, all right, here we go. All right. So so you came up well, first and foremost, where were you born?
Yeah, I was born in Alabama.
Okay. Your city.
It's a little place called Choctaw County.
Choctaw County, Alabama. And you lived in Alabama. We talked yesterday a little bit about like what your experience was living in Alabama. So you had like a very unique experience. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that experience in terms of like how did you how far did you have to travel to go to school? Did you have to walk? Did you get on a bus? And then also, what was your experience like with white Alabamans, white people in Alabama?
Well, we didn't actually where we were. I guess we just did what we had to do. You know, we didn't have any encounters at all.
So where you lived, was it mostly like who lived? I guess I should say like who were the people that mostly lived around you? The majority of the people.
It was, I guess, we were not like it is here in Philadelphia, where it's house to house. Houses were at least maybe a half mile apart.
And what did you do for a living, or like what did your family do for a living for the most part?
It was like I guess they did farming, and they were very good. They had a lot of wisdom. They knew how to survive.
Okay, and you said they were sharecroppers. You believe
they were
your grandfather?
Sharecroppers.
My grandfather.
And they would grow their own food, and they knew how to preserve it during winter. They had a way of preserving the food. So we didn't have electricity. We had to have a way of preserving the food. I think I believe they may have used ice in some ways, but I'm not sure.
So there was no refrigerators in the house.
Right.
Okay. And
I think they would use a way of smoking the meat
and salting it, putting salt on it. And putting salt on it.
Putting salt on it and smoking it. Yeah.
Okay. And then I know you said like your particular family never really, or you in particular never really had like run-ins in terms of like racial violence when you were in the South.
No.
So can you recall a time where there might have been like something like that happening around you, or like in your neighborhood?
It may have been to some degree, but I think everybody they kind of knew what their job was, or what it was they were supposed to do on a daily basis.
So they knew their place.
They did it.
So you're saying like they knew their place, they knew what they could, in terms of like the blacks in the community, they knew what they could do and what they couldn't do, and they stayed within that.
The first movie I remember seeing was Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. And this was a movie, and I'm not sure how we did it, but it was both white and black in the theater. I think we had to go upstairs. I'm not quite sure how we did it, but that was the first movie I'd ever seen.
And was that in Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was like segregated in a way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when you, so first and foremost, how old were you when you decided that you wanted to come up north?
I'm thinking I was somewhere around 17, 18.
So you're a teenager.
Yeah,
And
right.
did you finish school when you were in Alabama?
No, I finished school here at at Ben Franklin.
Okay. So tell me, like, what went through your mind? So you were here, well, you were in Alabama, and then
Right.
you came with family to Cincinnati, not
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee. You went to Cincinnati, and
Right.
then how did you decide, like, okay, I want to go to Philadelphia?
I didn't decide to come to Philly. I just decided to leave Cincinnati. And the bus that I got, I asked the bus driver, which way was it going? It said it was going, last stop was going to be Philadelphia. And I said, okay, that's fine. That's where I'm going.
And what did you have with you?
A little bag, that was it. A little bag of clothing.
And when you came to Philadelphia, what was the first thing you had to figure out? Because did you know anybody in Philly?
Not a single person.
Not a soul.
Nope.
So when you
And
got
the
off
first
the bus,
thing,
oh, sorry.
I remember the Greyhound bus was at 17th and Market. And I got off the bus and I looked towards the east and I saw this big city hall. So I decided, well, maybe the best thing for me to do is walk towards this big building.
with the William Penn on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went and I went there, and it was just fortunate for me. A guy was coming out of City Hall, and I asked him, what would be a place where you could stay? He pointed across the street to the YMCA, and he said you could stay there. And then I asked him, where could I go to school? Because I needed to finish school. And he said William Penn is a couple blocks up. That's how it kind of all got started.
And so you stayed at the YMCA. They offered housing for.
Yeah, it's a place. They had a place where you could stay, and they also had counseling too. It was someone that would kind of counsel you. Because I was a teenager, I didn't really know much of anything.
So when you talk about when you went there, were there other people at the YMCA that had migrated from other places, like that had came from?
No, I don't think so. I think I was the only nutball that did that.
Okay. So one thing that I think is really important is to get this story out of. A lot of times when people came up north, they wanted a better life. They thought that racism wasn't going to be an issue. But in Philadelphia and also in Pennsylvania, you experience segregation and you also experience racism. So can you tell me about the first time that, and I found this interesting, you said you had never been called the N-word when you were in Alabama.
Not that I can remember.
Not that you can remember, but
right.
That the first time you heard it, can you tell me about that experience? And sorry for the harsh language, guys, but.
Yeah, we had gone to Johnstown, Pennsylvania for training.
For what company?
And for training.
For what company?
I think this was a program maybe they offered at the YMCA. I'm not sure at that time.
Okay.
But me and a white guy, we had become good friends, and we walked in, I guess, downtown area of Johnstown, and we wanted to go into this little bar. And so we go into the bar, and the guy said, no niggas allowed in here. And that was the first time anybody ever said that to me face to face. It was interesting because I never forgot it.
How did it make you feel when
And
you heard that? Or like, and just also being denied entry into that?
I was perplexed, I think.
Yeah.
I was just confused a little bit, but uh, the friend who was with me, who was white, he told me, said, "Let's go. We don't need to go in here anyway."
Okay.
And so we left out.
And you also talked about like for entertainment, you also went to the movies when you got to Philadelphia. So can you tell me like what that experience was like going to the movies? And mind you, you guys went to, you said you went to the Fox Theater?
It was Fox Theater was a real nice theater. The Stanley Theater was right across from it,
Mm-hmm. And where was that
and
located?
we had to go upstairs. But everybody at that time, where they used to hang out, would be a little place in between the two of those theaters. It was called a Penny Arcade, and we used to go in there and get our pictures taken, and we'd hang out.
So
But
where was,
in the movies, uh, I'm trying to think of the movie at that time that everybody wanted to see. I can't remember it, but we'd have to go upstairs, and
when you say we,
um,
what do you mean when you say we?
I mean, the black people would have to go upstairs. They couldn't sit downstairs. Not right here in Philadelphia.
Yeah. And that was that theater was located at 16th and Market, which is now where like the Liberty Bell, not the Liberty Bell, Liberty Place Mall is located. So just if you guys, for my students, Miss Williams students, if you guys have ever been to the Liberty Place, there used to be two big movie theaters right in that vicinity. And
Yeah, except we were on Market. The Liberty Place, I think, is in Chestnut.
yeah. But it's been, yeah.
Right, but it's right in that general vicinity.
Yeah.
But
So, in terms of like when you came north, was there ever a time where, like, how did you communicate with your family? I know it took you a while to get settled and stuff like that, but after you did get settled, in what ways did you communicate with your family that you left behind?
they didn't know where I was. It took me, I think, 2 or 3 years before they found out.
And
And
did you have,
because, yeah.
could you call them then, or like how did they find out?
Well, eventually I did call them. I think I had gone to Johnstown for training. I had finished the training, and I came back to Philadelphia, and I filled out an application for employment. And then once I was kind of settled, I did call them, and they was wondering where I had been, but I just left.
All right. So that's it for now. Thank you so much. I'm going to see if the kids have any questions for you. And then if not, I'm going to end this so I can go back on Google Hangout Meets.
Okay.
But let's see. Okay. So do you guys have any questions? I think that answers some of the questions that people had, like how did people travel during the Great Migration, which you came by bus. So I don't think we have any questions. All right. So
I have a question.
Oh.
Yes, my question is, so Mr. Ridgeway, you said staying at the YMCA you described as something like nutty. What was your experience staying at the YMCA? Because I do understand that's their history. The YMCA, the YWCA, Salvation Army even allows people, or used to allow people to stay and get settled, kind of like a settlement home. But what was your experience?
I'll be honest, the YMCA was great for me. I still go back and look at the building. It's still there, but they turned it into something else now. Incidentally, right across from the YMCA was like an area where you could sit. That's where the MSB building is today. But I really enjoyed my time there at the YMCA. Right across from the YMCA on 15th Street, where they used to go and play chess. And it was like they had like a chess tournament. They would sit there and play almost every day.
So that's where you learn how to play chess?
Yeah, and that's how I taught. That's where I learned to play chess. But the YMCA was excellent. It was they treated me well, and it was a little restaurant right underneath it, and we could go down and have breakfast. And I really enjoyed it. Philadelphia is, for me, it's a good place to live. They have great universities. I don't know if people know it, but you have the Ivy League schools, which is the best school in the world. Well, some of the best schools in the world, and one of them is right here in Philadelphia. That's the University of Pennsylvania. And if your student thinking about maybe going to college, they really need to think about these good schools. You're allowed to go. You're allowed to apply. They have Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and the UP, the Big Four. And then there's Dartmouth, Brown, Cornell, and Columbia, the other four. Those are very, very good schools, and you need to know about them, apply to them, and you never know what's going to happen. The other very good school, University of Michigan, is very good. You learn about those schools because they're for you. This is you're our future. You're the one going to decide whether this world going to be what it needs to be.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, Mr. Ridgeway.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right. We figured it out.
Yes, we did. We had a workaround. That was so awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I think his story was really interesting just because he talks about like he didn't face a lot of that because they were kind of like, in a lot of ways, they were like insulated in their little small communities. He didn't face a lot of the racism that he experienced in the North when he was in Alabama. So I thought that was like really interesting when he told me that, and something that, it's a different experience. So, everybody leaves for different reasons. And that was his reason. So I want to put I don't think we have time for me to put this in the chat. So I want to show you guys this website, and I'm going to put it in the chat anyway. You don't have to click on it because I will pull it up on the presentation screen. But this is a really wonderful website regarding the Great Migration in Philadelphia. And I think it was like really interesting in his story. He talks about the YMCA and this wonderful website that I just put in the chat box. If you scroll down, let's go to the beginning. I'm going to take you guys to the beginning. So it talks about the Great Migration. It has tons of photos and all types of different exhibits for you guys to scroll through. And one of the places they talk about is the Christian Street YMCA. So you guys can like play around with the website, click through it, just see some of the things that they have to offer. But the YMCA at Christian Street was really important in the Great Migration movement. It was a place that was temporary lodging where people who were new to Philadelphia could come and find a place to live. And it also participated in trying to get Black people to move up north. And they had like a basketball squad. So it's like really important. There was, it obviously was Christian based, which, you know, the YMCA is, but it just offered a space for young Black youth to be able to, you know, do their athletics. And also just, as my dad told you guys, they included like counselors, because a lot of times people that were coming to Philadelphia from different places had a lot of trauma. The kids are so quiet today.
Yeah, it's not not a lot of them.
Yes.
But this will be recorded.
Yep.
All right, and so I can offer that to my students to, you know, write a reflective journal on what they learned or any questions that they would have asked him if they were here or something like that. Just offer them an opportunity to participate.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're stopping a little bit early today. 2 minutes early, actually. But it was great to see you guys as always. Thank y'all for coming and participating, being here, and hopefully you guys have a good day. FYI, this was to be a flyover, and everyone's like really excited about that. Is to thank the first responders. So they should be in Philly. I guess it's around like what is that? Like 1:55.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna fly over. They're starting.
I thought I missed it, but that's today.
I did too. I was
so 1:50, somewhere between 1:50 and 2 o'clock.
Yeah, between 1:55 and I think it's at 2:15. They're gonna be flying over Philadelphia. So they're encouraging everyone to practice social distancing, but to, you know, if you can go outside, if you have a porch, a balcony, or something like that, and just look up for it.
Yeah, the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels.
Yes. I'm excited about that.
Me too.
So, yeah. So if you guys watch it, let us know tomorrow if you're able to catch it. Let's see if we can see something. It's nice outside too, so you guys should like go outside and go for a walk or do something.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have a good day, guys. 1:55 p.m. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Bye, guys. Bye, Sam. Bye, Tiff. Bye, Simone. Bye, Alan. Bye, Miss Wood.
Bye.
Bye, Aileen.
Bye, Ken. Bye, Joe, Kaya, Tiffany, Sam, Cam.
Bye. Kenneth, finally, Kenneth says something.
Mm-hmm. Is Kenneth one of yours?
Yeah. He's one of mine.